Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's doing good. And yeah, I'm Katrina. This is Sow and Tare live chat. We do this every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And we're doing that today. It's almost Thanksgiving. So pre-happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope everyone has safe travels and all of that. If you are on your way somewhere. Yeah, here we go. So please keep all comments family friendly. And basically how I go through this is I answer questions. I go through the chat. You're going to be a lot of hellos and highs at the beginning. And then if you have questions or comments that see what you are doing in your yard and for your animals, for your garden, let us know. Let us know where you're from. And somewhere in the middle, we'll have our topic of discussion. All right, here we go. Let me scroll up and see who's here. Uh-oh. Ed's calling out Dawn. Did you forget to hit the like button as it showed me being the first like? Oh, Ed, you might be first. Welcome, Ed. Welcome. Verna's here. Evening, Katrina. Good evening, Verna. Verna, you'll see as Vase Place in blue with a little wrench. She's my moderator. And she raises food in her apartment. So if you're interested in learning more about that, check out her channel. Oh, Verna says, guess I'm the first one here tonight. Oh, I think Ed was there. Oh, Dawn was first comment, then you. I don't see Dawn's comment, but hello, Dawn. Welcome. All right. Dawn's comment disappeared. Dawn's comment usually disappeared because she usually is here so early. Awesome. Okay. Dawn says she was the first like and comment, but it gets erased. Yes, because you come so early, and we appreciate you, Dawn. Welcome. Oh. No comment. All right. And let's see. It stays on some videos, very few. I think it's a timing issue. Yeah. Man, Verna's already making more coffee. We haven't even gotten started. She's making more. Oh, you're using bad water? Hopefully that is something you can use filtered water maybe. I know I swore when I was younger, well, not just younger, but that I would not be paying for water. I have a Brita now, so that's paying for water. But I do have Brita, and that started when I lived in Illinois, and we were on boil order 5 or 6 times in 2 years. And the thing about boil order is, by the time you do boil order, you're being told that that needs to happen. It's too late because it's already gone through the pipes. So yeah, if you hear the noise in the background, that is the sound of the Brincia egg turner, the little one. I am testing incubators for my hatching rental program. So that's in the works right now. I'm going to see how it works when I'm gone for Thanksgiving. We have someone watching everything here, and we'll see how that works. Anyway, yeah, so now I do have Brita, and I do pay for, the filters for that. Just because that experience was not great. When you go to your source of your water and you see a bunch of dead fish in it, maybe not, huh? Yeah. Ed says, I'm going to make my dinner. I have live in my ear. All right. We're good with that. Buster's here. Hi to all. Hello, Buster. Oh, yeah. Buster says, congratulations, Verna, on your new babies. I don't know how I could possibly have forgotten that, Verna. Verna had babies. She had babies a while ago, but she had baby bunnies. Her baby bunnies were born. And if you haven't checked out, she did a short. I think it was a short. Wasn't it a short? I don't know. It was this way. But she did a video on that, and you can see little baby bunnies. I hope everybody's doing good. And yeah, and hopefully mama's a good mama. Everybody's saying hi. Oh, there are 7 kits? Yeah, pretty good for a first Kindle. I agree. I'm late. I was 1 minute late because I had to get water. You guys know me. I get water, I sit it here, and then I never drink it. It's my life. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, Diana says. Thank you, and same to you. And thank you for joining, Diana. And Steve's saying, what time is it? Welcome, Steve. Oh, Verna's laying it down. She was only 1 minute late, and so were you. She's got my back. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Steve says, Katrina, that's for sending the cruddy weather this way. Only about 6 tornadoes already. So Steve likes to blame California for his problems. He's not in California. Yeah. He's not near California. I don't think this is our system, honestly. I think our system it bifurcated off of the coast, and sorry, I'm trying to find this. There we go. It bifurcated off of the coast, and it became 2 storms. And I know my parents pretty much just got some fog from it, and I got 1.18 inches one day and 0.04 inches, which is like 0.04 of an inch the next day. So yeah. Don says, I had to make something, baking flour today. Oh, you had to make baking flour. Or did you grind some? I don't know what that means, but I'm glad you made it ahead of time. Tornadoes not near you. Good. I figured you would say more if they were near you, Steve. Uh-oh. Steve's asking his question. So did Penne make it or not? We're going to bring that up in a little bit. I'm going to wait a little bit. Talking about bunny names. Because I have the answers. Verna says, store-bought spring water. I am under the weather. I think it's the water. You know, if it's water in the plastic bottles, I don't know. I used to know someone who did construction stuff, who they had to test the water. This is years ago. They had to test the water with a water tester of some sort, and they thought that it kept on coming up bad, and it should have been coming up good. Like they're like, well, did we get there yet? And so they went and bought, I think it was Aquafina, but I don't remember. I don't know, some sort of bottled water out of a machine and tested that, and that was worse. So I don't know when that was. I don't know if there was a callback. It's not called callback. What was it called? Anyway, where you return things. I don't know what happened during that, but I don't know. Water it's good if you filter it. Brita filter I find is the cheapest thing as well. Or there's other filters too, but that kind of filtering system I think is cheaper than buying bottled water. To each their own. Silver Creek says, hiya, howdy, y'all. Hi, Silver Creek. Welcome. I saw your video on Daphnia, and I have a story for you. So those people that don't know what Daphnia are, they are water fleas. They're not fleas. They live in the water, though. And they're tiny. And they are see-through, and you can see them. We can see the eggs inside of them when they're going to have babies. And they are also a species that are used for toxicology experiments and toxicology tests for stuff and for contaminants and stuff. And I took a toxicology class in a course in my undergrad, and we did an experiment with Daphnia and Lumbriculus. Lumbriculus is a worm. And these are 2 very common species that we can see effects very quickly because they have very fast life cycles, and they're tiny and they live in water. And so we had a very small class. We broke into 2 groups. We decided what we wanted to test. I wanted to test caffeine because caffeine is something that is in your body for people for 4 hours, no matter what. There is no cure for an overdose. like what is going on in people's bodies. And so you do the different concentrations and all of that. And then the other group, they tested literally just ground up aspirin. They took aspirin, they ground it up, they had different concentrations, you know, teeny tiny to up high. They actually redid their experiment because they were suspicious about their answer. So the caffeine, what happened is they got hyper and then they died. Very, 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 very small doses of that had that result. The one with the aspirin, didn't matter what the concentration was, it made them have more babies. And again, because you can see them, they have see-through bodies, where you can see them if they have eggs in them or not before you pick them as test subjects. And they picked the ones that didn't have eggs, and they redid their tests, and there you go. So I don't know if that has any bearing on anything or if it was just a little weird thing that happened. I don't know that it's been replicated since, besides their thing. And, you know, we all had controls at all these too. Yeah, the professor who did that course, he used to work for the EPA and did some tests on for the silver toxicity, I think, and some other things. So anyway, fun, maybe. I don't know if it's a fun story, but it's a story. It's a story. Let's be factual here. So hopefully that's interesting to you, Tommy. Hey, Feather Connections Homestead's here. Welcome, Kelly. Cuddling up with the kids and getting them to bed soon. Been a long day here. Passed out cold at the diabetic doctors and haven't felt okay since. Kelly, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself for sure. Yeah. Everybody's saying hi. Dawn says they only let us know when we are in boil order if we go to the post office and it is posted on the door. I have a big Berkey gravity filter and water distiller. Dawn, that should be against the law. They need to be coming to your door and telling you, or posting things up, like at least in all the neighborhoods. Yeah, I would challenge that. Not me. I'm saying if I lived in the community that did that, I would want better communication, because that sucks. And how do you like your Berkey? I've seen that. I don't know like how different it is, other than it can filter more water and hold, like, it's kind of just bigger. Yeah, let me know how you like that. Andy Rabbit's here. Hello, Andy Rabbit. Welcome. And people saying hi. Dawn says, I hope you aren't sick. This is Diverna. All store-bought water is not what you think it is or what it says it is. Exactly. Yep, exactly. And Verna says, you went back to the distilled. Good. Steve says, I can't be late. All those likes before Verna's were mine. Oh, boy. We need proof. No, we don't. Don says, if you can't distill and have to get store-bought, can get a filter for store-bought. Yeah, I mean, like a Brita filter, or like you said, Berkey. I think Berkey's more expensive, but like a Brita filter works just fine. Yeah. And you can distill. All right. It will still go through the distiller now. Okay, well, hopefully you stay healthy and get healthy and all that. Oh, gluten-free. Okay. Dawn says, Katrina, I made gluten-free baking flour mix from scratch. No, I don't grind. Okay, gluten-free. What kinds of flours does that? I know, like, almond flour and coconut flour, maybe? Yeah, what do you combine to do that? Steve says, okay, it's been a little bit. Andy says, I think Dawn means gluten-free flour. Yep, that's what she just said above there, and I did not know what it was either. Recall, thank you. That's the word I was looking for, Verna. Botter waddle is, I can talk. It's still early. Andy Rabbit says, bottled water is nasty. And yes, you shared your experience with stuff going through the plastic into it. from gasoline fumes, wasn't it? That's disgusting. Steve says, how do you take the gluten out of the flour? Do you have to use tweezers? There's strands. You make strands, and maybe you take them out and then you have to braid them. No. Oh, boy. We'll see what she says, but that's not the way. I think it's just using different kinds of flour. Silver Creek says, yep, I have a Water Master test kit. I've tested all kinds of water, and y'all don't want to know the truth about the water you're drinking. Yep. A Brita water doesn't help with the water there. Verna, it should. It's a carbon filter. That's interesting. Maybe Berkey would. Ask Dawn about that. Dawn says, brown rice flour, tapioca flour, potato starch flour equals gluten-free baking mix. Awesome. That sounds interesting. I tried cooking with, I think it was coconut flour, and I don't remember the result. I know I just haven't done it again. I have it still. It's pretty old, but I have it still. I just haven't used a whole lot of flour in general. What happens is I end up making things that are bready or that are sweet, and then I end up eating all of them. So to avoid that, I don't make it. Then I end up buying things. Anyway, there you go. Silver Creek says, right, Verna, it takes a 3-stage filter minimum with a carbon and sediment filter at least. Okay. And Andy Rabbit says, no to Steve. What does Steve say? Oh, with the tweezers? Yeah. You just sift it out? I don't think it's siftable. And Dawn's laughing at Andy. Silver Creek says, our tap water here should be considered waste product, to be completely honest. And that is sad in a lot of places. I know, like, where I was when we were in Illinois, they got it from, like, a lake. I don't even think it was a reservoir. It might have been a reservoir, but I think it was just a flat-out lake. And it had so many dead fish in it all the time. And it's like, how do you not put people on boil order all the time? How about you set up a treatment plant and treat the water better? Yeah. And then, like, the town, maybe an hour north of us, they had radon. And so they had to, like, test for radon in the water. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. Yeah. Luckily, we didn't have that where I was. At least they didn't tell us. Berna says, I can't afford the only one that does work, and that is the pure water filters. Yeah. Silver Creek says, Verna, I use RV online filters for my fish tanks. They remove quite a bit of contamination. And by online, you're not talking about computers. You're talking about on a line, right? RV online filters. Interesting. Andy Rabbit's random fact of the day. Cabbage has nicotine. Okay. I did not know that. Is this related to something, or is this just a fun fact that you're sharing? Did I miss something ahead of this conversation? Oh, RV inline. Okay. And Steve says, is that why I like cabbage? Oh my gosh. Verna says rabbits are not supposed to have cabbage. I did not know that, but is it because it's a diuretic? I haven't given mine cabbage. And Silver Creek says lots of vegetation has nicotine. Interesting. Steve says that's why I like lots of veg. Oh, it's in brassicas? Okay. Silver Creek says, same here. No one tells us about our nasty water. Yeah, and no one's going to until you get, like, we get an annual report, right, in the mail, but there's nothing to compare it to. It's like, it just says within normal. It's like, well, what does normal mean? And what does safe mean? And what does that compare to what actually we should be having? Right? Yeah. Andy Rabbit says a lot of pharmaceutical nicotine comes from cabbage. I did not know that. Did not know that. And Silver Creek says we have to go search for the info ourselves. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's like, I think at least with the annual report, they should have a little bit more information. But honestly, I think people mostly just throw it away. Yeah. Yeah, and for the boil order, I think was it Dawn that was saying that earlier? For the boil order, like there's so many alert systems now that are by cell phone and by proximity that they should be able to send out a proximity alert to cell phones as an emergency alert, kind of like how you get the amber amber alerts or silver alerts on your phone. They should be able to do that. You shouldn't have to go to the post office. Yeah, that's not fun. Steve says Dawn lives in the country. She doesn't have a neighborhood. True. And they sell bottled water here from the Memphis artesian wells. That same water we get out of our faucet. Yeah. Nestle does a lot of that out of rivers too. And I do think it's silly to bottle up water. Like I understand bottled water in an emergency situation and people storing bottled water and all of that. And I understand like with if there's like search and rescue operations that you have something that's there and can be used like that, or like emergency situations. But I don't understand personally buying bottled water for your consumption like all the time. I think filtered water makes more sense. And personally, I think that filtration should come from if you don't get it from your well, I think it should be part of your water bill to have them actually filter things appropriately. And that doesn't happen. In all places. Some places it does. Yeah. Dawn says, Katrina, I've had the Berkey for 25 years and it has the best rated filters for removing all the nasties. Good to know. Because I've been considering that for several years and I don't remember how much it costs. I looked it up at one point and I'm just like, do I need it? But it is nice that it fits more water and apparently does a better job. So good. I do have emergency water. Excuse me. I do have emergency water that I refill every once in a while. Use the water, on the plants and then refill every once in a while. And I have it in like those RV hard plastic containers in the garage. And I think I'm one of probably only 2 houses on the block that has emergency water. And then of course I have my pond. If I did need to filter my, water from my pond, I could. Not my first choice, but it's possible. Yeah. And Andy Rabbit says a lot of bottle water comes from a faucet. Filter water can just mean a coffee filter. Exactly. Yeah. Andy Rabbit says yes, gas. I remember that story, Andy. Oh, Silver Creek's laughing. Remove the gluten strands. Ha 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 ha. Verna says, Dawn, the newer Berkeys make the water taste bad. I didn't like my Berkey. Interesting. Did it add minerals or did it just make it taste like nothing? Because I know like in science class in like middle school, we tasted like they had us taste like tap water, which the tap water there was good. And they had us taste the distilled water, and the distilled water was like, it tasted bad because it didn't really taste like anything. And what you're tasting with the other one is minerals at that point. I don't think they had chlorinated stuff at that point. Yeah. And Silver Creek says, indeed, Andy. Silver Creek, were you on when Andy Rabbit told her story? She had like gasoline fumes get into her bottled water through the plastic, and she drank a bunch of water and was like, bleh. Yeah. Andy Rabbit says, I want a Berkey filter someday. Do it. Save up. I don't remember how much they are. Don says it uses candles to filter with, and you either pay $100 for each of the black Berkey filters or get other brands, and none of the candle filters are cheap. So you're talking about candles as in the shape. The shape of the filter is like that, right? It's not actual candles. That would be weird. Silver Creek says, we luckily have a local wellspring source nearby. In mineral wells, it is an abundant source of heavily alkaline water, which is really good. You can even get it in a level that tastes like rocks. All right. Verna says, I will stick with distiller. And Don says, Berkey can filter mud puddles, lake water, anywhere you get water. Yeah, I've seen that, and that's why I think it's pretty neat. Yeah. Silver Creek says, now don't tell me y'all don't like the taste of rocks. I know there's a bunch of freaky rock lickers in here. Story time. When I took environmental geology in my undergrad, we had part of the course that was, identifying the rocks, right? The different rocks. And they had us lick rocks as if they're salty, if they're a little different flavor. There you go. So yes, I have licked rocks as part of school. Don says, most places I lived here in Illinois get their water from lakes. Summer Lake turnover is gross, and yes, it goes through the water plants in each city. Yeah. So where I used to live in Illinois was in Macomb, and it gives you a little setting there, Don. And then I considered going to a school. I went to school in Iowa, but I considered going to school in Ashland, Wisconsin, right on the lake. And I was there. I visited school during the turnover and was told not to brush my teeth with the water coming out of the tap, and that disturbed me. That was one of two reasons why I didn't go to that school. They have a great program for biology, but that was one of two reasons. Yeah. Don says, where I live now, ours comes from an underground river. That's good. That's good. Andy Rabbit says, I love rocks, Silver Creek. Okay, Rena, I have to go back to see what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's okay because it causes gas and they can't fart. I don't know what the first part of that is. Did I miss it? The distiller? I don't know what the first part of that is, Verna. And Steve says, I don't have that problem. All right. Silver Creek says, same, Andy. I'm not Riri, but I like rocks. I just like the way they feel, Verna, you've never licked a rock except for a salt lick? Before or after the cows did? Oh, boy. Oh, okay. The gas in rabbits. Got it. Cabbage cause gassy in rabbits. Rabbits can't burp or pass gas, therefore it can cause bloat. Got it. Silver Creek says, Verna, you're missing out. Rocks taste amazing. Oh, boy. Dawn says, cell phones don't work where you are. Okay, so that wouldn't work, but I wonder... I mean, it would work for a lot of people, but not everybody. They still need to get something to you. Like, it doesn't make sense to not do that. Yeah. Silver Creek says, is laughing, same, Andy, same. I don't want them knowing who or where I am. Well, I don't think that... I think it's that the phones don't actually work there. Oh, no. Sorry, you're responding to Andy, who says, I'm not giving my town my phone number. They have it already. Sorry. They probably have it already. No, the cell phone thing that I'm talking about is there's an ability now to basically whatever pings off of the towers in a certain area, like they define the area, they send it to that, and then it sends it to whatever cell phones that reaches. They do that for emergencies. Do that for earthquake, not announcements, warnings, earthquake warnings, and like silver alert warnings, amber alert warnings, any emergency like as well. So yeah. Don says, true. I wouldn't if I had a cell phone. They can call my landline. Silver Creek says, I know the people that run my town, maybe. And they're not good people. You know, Andy Rabbit autocorrect does some fun things. Oh, Silver Creek's talk to text. Well, that's all right. We'll just guess. Silver Creek says, I buy RO water, reverse osmosis. Is that what that is? And alkaline water for drinking. Our tap water will make you sick, 100% guaranteed. Wow. Okay. Reverse osmosis, I think, is what it is, Verna. It says, I'll put it to you this way. Our tap water is so bad, it has made local news before. So the first time I was ever mentioned on TV was because of, my violent diarrhea. Well, that's fun. That's memorable, we'll say. Dawn says, Katrina, when I got the Berkey, it was $250 stainless steel, like new, except one dent where it rolled off onto the floor when I was cleaning it. It's probably more now then, right? Yeah. Seasons Tommy's claim to fame is number 2. Oh my gosh. It just tasted very off. You know, if something tastes off, maybe don't consume it, you know? I think you're smart to do that. Yeah, an RO is reverse osmosis water. Silver Creek says, oh my gosh, no, I wasn't on when I saw that, but we had a fuel and natural gas leaching into our water next to me. It was so volatile you could light it on fire. Wow. You know, I was on a project that as a biologist that, guys, if you buy land that does not have mineral rights that somebody else owns. We had this project several years ago that there was some underground mineral rights that someone else owned. And of course, they had to destroy surface stuff to get to the underground stuff, which I just think is wrong. Because someone else owns the surface stuff, but they have to allow it. Anyway. And the landowner of the surface had concerns about what they were doing versus what that would do to his water, because he was, you know, farming some stuff and ranching some stuff, and there was really no answer, and that's not what we do. So I mean, somebody else had to deal with that, but I don't want to deal with it. Yeah, but lighting on fire, that's a different thing. Berta says it had a very chemical taste to it. Could have been that it was the other brand. Got rid of it. Okay. Yep. Fracking. That's what I was talking about. Digging through the aquifers. Yep. Andy Rout says, if I lit a lighter after drinking that bottle of water, I bet I could have shot flames. Maybe don't try it. I know there are fire breathers and fire, you know, shows, but I don't know. It looks a little dangerous. Reverse osmosis water is good. It will help pull out impurities in your stomach because of it. But if you're not trying to cleanse, I would recommend alkaline water for the natural electrolytes. Yeah, so the thing about most water, like if you have well water, even tap water, it has minerals in it, and you do need minerals. And like water isn't just H2O, it's H2O and the stuff that it carries with it. So, yeah, that's important. And reverse osmosis water is like a magnet to impurities. Seriously draws them into it. I did not know that. You were born in Macomb, Steve? Yeah, I lived in Macomb. My ex went to school there. And I lived there for 2 years, minus the summer, because I said I'm not staying here during the summer. There is an awesome sandwich shop in Macomb. That's what's valuable about it. And also Steve came from there. Yeah, I worked at the soils lab there. And then I also worked at the Natural History Survey, and the DNR they had like a joint funded thing at a research center, like an hour, 15 minutes away. So that's what I did over there. Yeah, it's like one of the only originally named towns in Illinois. They like to have repeats. Silver Creek says it's perfectly balanced. 7 neutral reverse osmosis water. We used to have reverse osmosis water in our office, and it was really good water. It had a really good like compared to the tap water that's in San Jose. Yeah, we don't have that anymore. Yeah, Steve, I figured that out. Verna's line, farting, rabbits, cabbage. Yeah, they don't do that. They do, however, have hiccups. You guys seen hiccups with your rabbits? It's pretty funny. It's really funny. I know with one of them, I think she drank water way too fast, but I don't know what happened with. I think I've seen it a couple times. Yeah. All right, so I am going to share. Steve, you listening? Apparently something I closed. Hang on a minute. Okay, let's try this again. Let me cancel that. Present. Share screen. It's not there. There it is. All right. Bunny name time. So we had a race. We had a big race. I did not realize how many people were invested in these bunny names. Steve being the most invested. I know Steve campaigned for Penne to be the name of a rabbit. And Steve, your efforts paid off. So here is the thing at the end of the night, last night, midnight. I took this screenshot, and so Penne is going to be the name of the Calmer rabbit, and Risotto is going to be the name of our spicy rabbit. And they now have names, thanks to you guys. So there we go. And congratulations if you voted for these. And your prize is you get to name my rabbit. We're having awesome prizes here. Oh. All right. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. And I'm going to continue our conversation about water over here and see where this leads. Dawn says, one town I lived in, I put some water in a gallon jug, and the next day it had pond scum in it. The water department didn't believe it. I brought it in, and we had to boil water during that time of year. Wow. And Verna says, water here comes from underground and is full of those itsy bitsy amoeba fossils that cause high-level kidney failure. My goodness. Oh my gosh. Great test for water quality. Yeah, to sit it somewhere. Dawn says, Katrina, you can get in the car and drive to the main highway through town, get a cell signal. Okay. Not that far out, huh? Steve says, I never gave my number to the city, but yesterday at 3 a.m. I got an alert for all points on a murder to watch out for. They can find, yeah, like I said, they know where you are. But I don't think it's, for things like that, I don't think it's like, hey, here's a list, let's call it. I really do think here's a list of towers, send it to the towers, and whatever goes in there, whatever can reach, it reaches. That's what I think happens. I am not an authority on that, but I know they do these things based on area. Yeah. Right, Don. You need a tower to ping. And there isn't any around you. All right. Oh, the flesh-eating amoeba? Yeah, that... Oh, your lake was closed because of it? Oh, wow. That sucks. Fossils is what she's talking about. She's talking about the little tiny fossils. Yeah. So the town that had the water you could light fire is actually the same town that has the glowing alien headstone in it. I don't know about this. Aurora, Texas. Okay. You see your sheriff's alert on Facebook. I mean, did they do a water alert on Facebook? They should be doing that everywhere. Wow. An alien gravesite. All right. And Silver Creek says, Katrina, I'm about to visit a local unknown spring and undocumented by the government spring here in my town. It was dang near destroyed by a natural gas company, but luckily I've been all over them about it. Awesome. Not awesome that it almost got destroyed, but awesome that you are you're a concerned citizen. You're a person that fights back. That's good. They were dumping frack water directly into a creek system that led directly into the lake. Oh, no. Wow. I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad you showed up to defend, because that sucks. Yeah. Ed says, okay, I'm back for emergencies. I have a 400-gallon military water buffalo with a tank on a trailer, plus those filter drink straws, the life straws. A large bladder that holds 50 gallons. You are set. Ed says that would be H2O. No. Yeah, exactly, Silver Creek. That is your water. Yep. I don't know what you're referencing, Steve. They stopped dumping in the creek. See, you can influence change. That's good. Dawn says, oh, wow, we have a turkey bowl in the IGA tomorrow for 2 hours. Told hubby to go win a turkey. They will give 16 turkeys away, throwing a frozen turkey down the pins. That is ridiculous. It also sounds fun. So, yeah, go win a bruised turkey. So do you win the turkey that hits the pins, or do you win a turkey? Like, do they reuse the same frozen one? I don't know. That sounds interesting. Guido says, popping in to give my thumbs up and say hello. It's been a busy week and it's only Monday. I understand that. For sure. And welcome, Christina. Welcome. Everybody's saying welcome. And Steve says, woohoo, penne. Welcome, risotto. Verna says, great. Now PJ can say the rabbit was named after her. It's not penny, it's penne. Oh boy. Ed says, send Steve a Ziploc bag of bunny jelly beans for the win. Bunny jelly beans? I did not know they made bunny jelly beans. I don't know. He was campaigning hard, though. Like, he went in more than one place. And that's what campaigning hard looks like to me. Oh boy. Dawn, were you the one that I think I saw your comment, and I think yours was the winning risotto. If you voted for risotto, I think yours was the winning one. Yeah. Overtook cannoli. Oh, was Cooey that can't have cabbage? Yeah, I haven't given cabbage to give in small amounts, but honestly, I do feed mostly pellets and hay. I should feed more things, but yeah. Right now, I'm just hoping that my girls are pregnant and that they have their first Kindle healthy and are good moms and all that. I really thought they were pregnant this last time. Especially Rigatoni. Man, she was attitude girl. Silver Creek says, I need to let her know. What? Thank you for the random fact. We are finding out tonight on Sow and Tare what animals can't fart. Apparently rabbits and cooey and sheep. Birds, I don't think can burp. I think that's why you're not supposed to give them things that have gassy. Another random fact. If you didn't see the video from today, I caught Overraptor the chicken pooping on Rexy the chicken. I'm sure she wasn't aiming, but it was very sad because it was right after I told her to look after her sister. Chickens. Boy. Right. So we do have a lot of animals that are burping and farting out there and putting stuff into the air. But there are also a lot of animals that, if raised on rotational grazing and all of that, that has actually a different impact on the amount of greenhouse gases grasslands it's being kept in the ground and actually sequestering into the ground. Grasslands are actually the number one carbon sequestration habitat. Like, you'd think it would be the forest or something, but it is grasslands that is number one for that I've recently heard, at least. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. See, I didn't read that part, Silver Creek. I didn't read that part. Okay, Dawn is clarifying for us. No, you get a real turkey, not the one they throw. Kids will get a little turkey to bowl with. They will have one aisle in the store closed for 2 hours. Okay. And then a sanitation crew. Oh. Then why are they prone to bloat? Silver Creek says. Maybe it's because of feed with copper. Oh, so ruminants, I know, are more prone to bloat, and I used to know why. Someone else probably does. But it has something to do with the off-gassing of the actual food. Like, if it sits in is in the chamber for longer, I think longer than it should. I think that's what happens. I could be totally wrong. Somebody correct me. I understand now, Steve. He says, Katrina, Ed's bunny jelly beans come out their rear end. Apparently I'm tired. I don't know. I should be getting these jokes. I usually do. Dawn says, I did vote for risotto. Congratulations. And Steve says, I'm not faulting you, Dawn. There are 2 rabbits, guys. There's 2 rabbits. They both need different names than each other. So they have them now. We're good now. No naming rabbits for a while. Silver Creek says, I have an old sheep that has mastitis, so no other around her, just letting her enjoy grazing and living her life till she passes. So this is like a case that you've tried to get rid of, and then it's not working. Yeah. Sour Creek says animal flatulence is a hot topic. Come on now. Figuratively or literally? Come on. All right. Verna says 7 beautiful kits, but Mama had chewed a hole in the side of the box before she kindled, and I keep having to put a kit back into the nest. I would probably tape that shut, like put a piece of cardboard on it and tape it shut, because you don't want them falling out, because it doesn't take much for exposure, even though you're inside. But hopefully Mama's taking care of the babies. Silver Creek says, if we had all the trees necessary to absorb all of those gases, it would be much better, but we have people destroying the trees. Yep. The United States and Amazon, like madmen. Yep. And the rainforest chopping down for farmland. Exactly. And so that's the importance of, I really do think that the more locally you can grow your food, the more, the better that is for the planet, the better it is for us, the better it is for our environment, the better it is for, the amount of pollution in the air. It's just better all around. And so I think the more people can grow their own food, the better. And if you do have room for pasture, even if it's your lawn, you can pasture stuff on your lawn, your rabbits or something on your lawn. You can do that and reduce the carbon footprint, but then also actually sequester the carbon into the ground, into the in the material there. So I think that's a good thing to do. All right, before we get to 7:00, I want to say something. So we had another Katrina's Kits Cook With Me live on yesterday, Sunday, a long time ago that was yesterday, and PJ joined me, and I now know our mystery viewer was Ed. So I did a boo-boo, and I did not make that video for members only. So people have been watching it, which is my mistake. That's fine, but there's your little freebie. I am going to leave it up as public until or let's say through Thanksgiving, and then I'm going to change it to members only. And so that'll give you a little bit of a preview of what those things are like. And if you want to sign up, go ahead and sign up. It has a join button below on all of my videos. So that's my oops and your gift. Yeah. So I guess that's what I should say. It's if you go in there, it's in the live, like if you go on the homepage, it has like playlists and all that stuff, videos. It's not going to find it in there. You'll find it in the live part of it. So that's something to check out, see how you like it and all of that. So there we go. I had to say that because I'm like, well, other people have seen it already. I might as well tell my peeps, give them a chance to watch, you guys a chance to watch before I make it members only. But I am going to take it down after Thanksgiving to make it members only. If you are a member and you missed it, you can replay it. There is a playlist. When you go on my channel, there is a playlist called, I think it's Members Only Cook With Me Live. And only members can see that playlist. So you're welcome to go in and rewatch as many times as you want if you are a member. And if you become a member, then you can go back and watch the past videos as well. So there you go. All right, let me continue to read your comments, see what we're doing. Looks like our topic, my topic was the bunny names. That was the bunny names. But looks like our topic is mostly water, which is good. I mean, I like these things driven by you guys. We want to talk about these things because that's good. I'm always up for discussion about fun things. All right. Okay, so Silver Creek says Dr. Anthony down in Amazon is trying to help find sustainable ways for people to have income by collecting tropical fish in a conservation-minded manner. The Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fish Yeah. So I know other people have done similar things. I had a professor, a scatologist. Yes, someone who studies scat. That is poop. Carnivore scatologist. He has done or still does. I don't know if he still does. I haven't talked to him in a while. Research down in Paraguay, and they actually have hired locals to collect, sterilely collect the carnivore scat, and they do diet analysis and all sorts of things with that. And it's kind of funny because if you pull it out as a poop, the permits, right? Make sure you know what permits you need. But at least to my recollection, what he needed is if it's a poop, it is a poop and is not a special status anything. And if it is a poop that is dissected and has parts of an endangered species or something like that, then you need permits. So that is an interesting little side note there. Yeah. Okay. But they are paying for the locals to do that, and that is an income that they can do. That's, hey, they could have poached or they could pick up poop. I mean, there you go. Silver Creek says ruminant. Yeah, bottleneck. Maybe. Because they have the chambers. Steve says sheep bloat is a risk when animals are grazing young, lush pasture, particularly if the pasture was a high legume content. Clover, medics. What's medics? Or lucerne? I don't know why I'm yawning, guys. I shouldn't. So if she's eating peas that bad, I don't know. Lots of buffering. And I don't see buffering, but I never do. So let me know. And I don't know that I can do anything about it. But yeah, anybody else? Definitely buffering. Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry. Silver Creek says we grow peas and she can sneak into the garden. The sheep. Yeah. Don says, I voted for the second one, which is what Katrina requested the tie, or when I requested the tiebreaker. Yep. Not so much Clover. Okay. Oh, Verna, you did patch the nest box and she pulled it off. She lays in the area and would get out. Okay. Buffering gone. Good. I don't know what you missed because I don't know when it happened. Sorry. I know, Steve. He says, yep, your cooking video was public. I did not realize that. And like I said, I didn't really realize it. I messed up with the settings. That's what happened. But hopefully people will take an opportunity to check it out, see what it's all about. And it's really spending time together cooking. That's what it is. And PJ and I had a great time. I don't think anybody else came in. I think somebody else besides Ed showed up. Like we kept on having 3-4 people like pop in, pop out. So I'm wondering if some people didn't know what it was and like, well, this is weird. This is a weird video. But yeah. So there we go. Verna says next time it will be metal nesting boxes. That'll work. Can't chew through those easily. Yep. So I did, because it was public already and people have seen it already. I just figured I wanted to open that up to you guys, and anybody on here who hasn't seen it yet, go for it. And then I will make it that members only after Thanksgiving. And Silver Creek says, I saw it as members only. Was it a glitch? I don't know. Subscriber only? I think I clicked on the wrong thing somehow. I don't know what I clicked on, but it says public now. I went and checked it, and it says public now. It was supposed to be members only. Yeah, sorry. Become a member. It's fun. We had fun. Oh, let me show you guys what we made. I brought it over here so I can show you. We made turkeys and pumpkin pie from Homemade and whipped cream Homemade. But little craft time. Got a little turkey. It's fun. Fun thing to do while things were cooking. Dawn says, I have a restricted diet where my cooking with other people is totally out. My recipes are different. I understand that. Everybody says, see, I try and pay attention. And Verna's requesting Dawn to put some of her recipes in Self-Sufficient Kitchen. If you have a diet restricted, if your diet is restricted and you cook a lot of things, that actually would be very helpful to other people. Yeah. Andy arrives back. Welcome. Did you miss anything? I don't remember what you missed, but I did share. Or maybe I'll just do it again. Except for I think I closed it again. Let me open again. I did share bunny names. And let me share it now. Window. There we go. So here was the midnight standing of the poll. So our bunnies, our little black bunnies that are tortellini's babies, they are going to, the calm one is going to be penne, and the spicy one is going to be risotto. So those are their names. There we go. And that's something else. What am I doing? Okay, back here. So I think that's what you missed. All right. And Silver Creek says, Dawn, I feel that for sure. I cook the food we eat. Don't like eating others' cooking unless they are a chef. Yeah. Scatologists do amazing work. There is much to learn there. Yes. So I did some scat work. Okay. So when I did my undergraduate research, I did 2 years of it. Most people don't do any of it or do 1 year. Summers. The first time I was out there, I did a bio inventory of 6,000 acres Wyoming big sagebrush at Heart Mountain National Antelope Refuge in southeastern Oregon. And this is an area that is very far away. It's the same place I told you guys a story about intuition, right? But I did a little bit of vegetation analysis. It was mostly animal based. So I did small mammal trapping, which I trapped every one but one species of the snake that you could see because they would warm up and then the snakes would go in there because it was warm. I'm like, so when you pick up a trap and the weight's over here and you go like this with it, and if the weight's still up here, you have a snake. If you pick up the trap and something goes, you have a chipmunk. Sorts of other small mammals, other animals with small mammals. And so I did that live trapping and catch and release and do that. And they got ear tags and all that. And I did, I did bird point counts. So that's go out at different points. You stop, you look, you listen for, I think I did 10 minutes, and then you go to the next one. And, you're writing down what you see. And I did not do any insect work. Like I said, I did some vegetation stuff, not a whole lot. And then I did collect carnivore scat and did diet analysis on that. So, and I presented some of that work as badger stuff at the carnivore conference. So that was cool. And then so they called me, the manager there was a funny guy. He was a good guy, but he was a funny guy, and he dubbed me Scat Girl. So he called me Scat Girl all summer. And then I came back the next summer because that summer I was like, Oh, and I also helped. I helped with the telemetry locating, not fixing, but locating telemetry for pronghorn fawns and bighorn sheep, and looked at the pronghorn fawn mortality stuff. We would find them, and it's a mortality study that's been going on for years and years and years, and see what ate them. So we look at, coyote, bobcat, there's other options too, but those are the top. And so then the second year I came back, because the first year I was like, well, I'm seeing all these badgers. I was out in dawn and dusk and all of that, and I was doing so much. And I was seeing all these badgers. I knew nothing about them. And so I said, well, what about these badgers? Can you tell me anything about these badgers? And they said, yeah, look at the file. Sorry, guys. And so I looked in the file, and they weren't even I looked in the wildlife file, and they weren't even mentioned. So I came back and I did a habitat. Like I basically looked at 4 different habitats, burned and unburned, burned historically or unburned, and where the burrows were at those areas and all of that. And I ended up doing badger diet study with that as well. And then I did keep on doing my scat transects, and I should have done the other stuff too, but I didn't. Anyway, when you volunteer your time, I got $18 a day stipend for doing that up there. There's a stipend, a volunteer stipend, that weekdays, and I was out doing things every single week. I think it was the second year that was the big West Nile virus outbreak. And so I did end up also helping. So I also did the telemetry for the same animals. And then I also ended up helping when the, what's the wildlife lab out of Madison, Wisconsin? The National Wildlife Health Center or something like that. It's out of Madison. And so I actually went out and caught sage grouse with them, which is a fun endeavor to do. You do that at night with a spotlight and a net, and it's fun. But I did help them out too. And there you go. Anyway, yes, I've done scat stuff. But then that summer that I was there, the manager called me Badger Babe because I was doing badger stuff. Anyway, long story to say, yes, I know what carnivore poop looks like. You guys are going to be sending me poop pictures now. I just know it. What's this? Here's a guide. I don't know. You guys didn't even ask for this, but here's a guide. Rough guide between cats and dogs. Cats meaning, bobcat or mountain lion or that kind of thing. They have segments, right? If you break it apart, it's going to break apart. They're more shiny. And then for a dog, so that's any of the canids, you're going to have a twist and a tip on the end, like a pinch. And cats have blunts. Now you know poo. You learned something today. Let's see what you guys think about what I just said. We can go back to talking about water if you want to. Oh, thank you, Silver Creek. Just shared the live on your community tab. Just in time for people to learn about poop. Good timing, right? Apparently I got to scroll up. Yeah, there is a lot to learn with scat, and actually, so you can learn what they ate. You can learn, what the diet is, but you can take DNA samples from that pinch point. So yeah, even your poop, that pinch point, cells come off of the body into that point, and you can actually look at who that individual is. If it is, if it's new enough, recent enough, then you can see, is it male or female? You can say, oh, is that their mom? Is that their dad? Is that their sibling? I mean, there's some wild stuff you can see from just the scat. And then you can also see from some of the prey items, if they can get the DNA out of it. But then there's just a lot you can learn from that. And just know who's out there pooping. Because if they're pooping, they're there. Oh, Oh yeah, we also did pygmy. I helped with a pygmy rabbit project out there too. We put telemetry on pygmy rabbits, little tiny rabbits. So like that big, full grown, little head, and they were petitioned to be listed. But way back then by the Endangered Species Act. Anyway, back to this. Silver Creek says, I study poop when I see it on my property. Yep. And so Steve says, you couldn't comment on the video chat, just watch. I watched a few minutes while PJ was talking about she used crystals when you're talking about putting seasonings in. All right. Yep, Verna says mistakes are okay as long as you learn from them. Hey, and maybe some people will learn that they want to join Katrina's kits or that they want to, see more stuff on the channel. You never know. Silver Creek says, pumpkin pie. I guess it is the season now. Yep, it is. What's the turkey made out of? You'll have to watch. No. So this is the turkey. I'm guessing you're talking about this turkey because turkeys are made out of meat. This is the turkey. This is tulle, Tulle material. This is like tutu material, and with a little teeny tiny hair rubber band, like those little rubber ones in there. And there's M&Ms inside, and then these are just pipe cleaners with googly eyes and glue. So there we go. That is what it is. And Steve says, Andy, it depends what you feed the turkey. Yep, Verna, pipe cleaners, M&Ms, and netting. Yep. Silver Creek says, our diet is definitely about to change. We just found out my wife either has, Hashimoto's or Graves' disease. If it's Graves', they will nuke one of her organs. If Hashimoto's, vast diet change. I am sorry to hear that. That really sucks. Yeah. Andy Rabbit says, I was thinking gummy worms. It depends how long you want to leave gummy worms out. They might get a little hard. Yeah. Dawn's leaving for the night. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Bern, I'll see if I can get you some recipes. Awesome. Dawn, have a wonderful evening, and thanks for coming, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Everybody saying good night. Andy likes the rabbits' names. Good. I do too. All right. And Silver Creek says, I missed the hawk trapping when the red tails migrated, but I've been chasing them down when they actually catch one of my pigeons. I've saved 4 pigeons from hawks this week alone. You're getting your steps in, Tommy. Wow. Luckily, they have to stay on the ground and hold their food down for a while before they actually fly off with it and eat it. So it gives me time to run across 4 acres flailing like an imbecile. I can see it. I think you should make a video about it, honestly. Ear tagging snakes. Nope, I don't ear tag snakes. Snakes don't have ears. They hear from their jaws. Yeah. Did catch them, though. Silver Creek says they will dive and use a lot of energy during their short hunt, so the rest of a few moments on the ground holding their prey down. If you don't catch them by then, they're hawk baby food. Yep. It's weird, too. They're absolutely beautiful birds, so I could never harm one, even though they're killing off Guinness World Record lineage of pigeons, not pinions. That's a tree. Now the pigeons are locked up in the aviary till their migration is done. That's probably a good thing. This is why it's important to know what's going on in your habitat if you have animals. Absolutely. And Andy Rabbit is agreeing. Badger babe. Yeah. Silver Creek says, what the something is this? Oh, got it. USGS National Wildlife Health Center. Maybe. Is it in Madison, Wisconsin? That sounds like it might be it. Yeah. Verna says, last few days on our morning walks, I have been seeing a lot of dead mice. They all have white bellies and look like they are mice that were pets. Interesting. There are a lot of mice with white bellies out there, like a deer mouse and some other things. Lots of other things. Yeah. Peary in Wisconsin. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is, so probably not. So again, flatulence and defecation are always a hot topic. Just hopefully not steaming. Oh, okay. You may not have been on here when I told you guys that story. I heard this is again at Heart Mountain. My first year doing field work by myself, miles and miles and miles away from another human being. I was out doing my bird point counts, so I'm sitting there. I'm like watching and listening, and the sun is coming up, and the birds are going, and it's all nice and peaceful. Then I hear a scream, and it was behind me, and it was like a woman screaming bloody murder, except for a fact, I knew it was not human. It was scary. Hair on my back and neck went up. So I turned around. I didn't have any good measure of how far away it was or anything. I turned around and I see a deer. And it's staring at me. And its ears are going everywhere. And I say, "You didn't make that sound." And I realized that its ears were going everywhere. I was trying to figure out where the sound is. And once it calmed down, I calmed down a little bit. She had 2 little babies I didn't even know about on either side of her. They stood up when she calmed, and she walked 10 feet away from me across the path and continued on with her day. I went through the rest of my time out in the field that day, not knowing what this was. By myself, didn't really have a weapon. I had, a Leatherman, and I had a long screwdriver because I had that for the traps to set the trigger. And I guess that was my best weapon. I had that. And I was like, well, I'm a mile away from the truck. I might as well keep going because I'm out here anyway, right? I'm far enough away that, it doesn't really matter. And so I kept going, and I go to a bend in the trail, and there, sitting there, was what I like to call a double bagger. Now, this double bagger was hot. It was steamy. It was steaming. It was so fresh that the ants and the flies had not seen it yet. They had not even known that it's there. Mountain lion. So again, I was doing my bird point counts going this way and then collecting scat on the way back. And that was a mountain lion scat. And it's when I got suspicious that I might have been hearing a mountain lion. And it, little unnerved out there by myself with that sound. And I didn't know why. I didn't know why they made that sound or what was happening or if it was that even. So I continue on my way, and on my way back, I picked up the scat and labeled it and GPSed it and all that. And I was coming back, and again, more than a mile away from my truck. And I kept on seeing this like tawny orange, gray, brown something going through the sagebrush. Sagebrush is this high. And I just kept on glimpses, just a glimpse here, a glimpse there, and it was paralleling me. And again, by myself, more than a mile away from my truck, and I couldn't tell what it was. But you bet I was watching it, trying to figure out what was there. And it was a coyote. Just screwing around with me. And I got back in the truck, did the rest of the stuff I had to do that day. I came back to the headquarters and told my story. And that's when one of the ladies told me it was a mountain lion. And they scream like that when they are in heat. So that is good advertisement if you are a animal that does not live in a group. The male mountain lions have a home range of up to about 100 square miles. So that sound travels quite far. I don't know how far, but there you go. There's your story. All right. Let's scroll here. And Steve says discussion topics: water, farting, scat, and PG section on rabbit names. Steve, I do keep a topic of discussion. Like I have an Excel sheet of all the lives and topic of discussion. I usually just use like main topics, but you pretty much got it right there. Oh my goodness. Silver Creek says, our job isn't to leave a scar or mark on this planet, rather to make it more beautiful than we left it for our future generations. There you go. That is good. And Andy Rat says, oh, that is cute, Katrina, the turkey. I know, Ed, I know. He says, everyone's saying goodnight because you're making them sleepy with all the yawning. No, Dawn usually heads out then. I don't know why. You're keeping me up. We are driving to Oregon tomorrow. We have someone watching the animals here. Yeah. No sleep till Brooklyn? That must be a reference that I'm not familiar with. Steve says, oh my gosh, I love deer. We have a lot of them around here, and they're having to move into neighborhoods because of all the housing that's going up. I always stop for them and will wait for them to pass on the road. And turtles, I stop traffic and move myself. There you go. Yep. Silver Creek says, sorry if you have ever been stopped by the weirdo waiting for animals to move across the road. They're probably family. And Andy Roberts says, a peacock. You've done that with a peacock. I have stopped for tarantulas. I mean, I stop for things. I stop for tarantulas. People are surprised that I see them. Newts, too. There's newts, salamanders. Yeah. Oh. The peacock scream like a dying woman. It's not nearly the sound of a peacock, Andy Rabbit. It is like a supernatural sound. Like it is something that is like, you know that you don't know what that is if you don't know, right? But like it was really, really, really different than a peacock for sure. Because I've heard what you're talking about, I think. Yeah. And Silver Creek says, I love peafowl. Love going outside and hearing them do their screams. Makes me feel like I'm in the jungle. Oh. Steve says, we heard a baby crying in the woods the other night. It was not a baby. It was a coyote. Yeah. And Silver Creek says, for real, Steve. Coyote, some fox calls, baby rabbits, and frogs at night. Sounds like people being deaded. Yeah. At Heart Mountain, there was this one area that you would hear a very creepy. There's two things that I heard that were very creepy. One was an area that you could hear elk, but it was like elk through the wind, so it was distorted, and it was a really weird sound. If you've heard elk before, they do make some very interesting sounds, and if you're not used to hearing elk, it's even more interesting. And the other one, this sounded like a toddler out talking to himself in like you're going to be in a scary movie kind of thing. And it was a shrike. The shrike sound out in the sagebrush through the wind. Like it has some distortion in there, and it sounds very creepy. It sounds just like a toddler just babbling. Yeah. Shrike is a bird. Type of bird. I got it, Silver Creek. Andy Rapp says a guy up on the road about 5 miles had some screaming from his place. It sounded like someone was yeah. We quickly drove up to his house with a shotgun. He had some peacocks. Yeah. Oh, it's BC Boys reference? Yeah. I have not heard them for a very long time. Yeah. There are some sounds that it's like, okay. Steve says we used to stop and pick up wayward turtles and take them home to the nearest river or stream until we learned that all turtles don't live in water. Who knows how many we drowned? Steve. Where you are, they probably were completely fine. If you did that where you currently are, they can get out. Long if it was a tortoise, that might be a little more of a problem. Yeah. Oh, so he did the same thing. Andy Rabbit says, I've heard mountain lions or bobcats scream before. We used to have a few around my old place. Yeah, it is a sound. It is a sound. Yeah. And Silver Creek says, we used to have bobcat, mountain lion, till I got Pyrenees, and then Catahoulas. No more big critters. You know, they do have an effect for sure. For sure. See, I'm not even drinking my water. It's like that full. Oh my gosh. Ed. I know that one. Well, you do have to fight for your right to party. Yeah. You guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? I don't know if you could or not. But that was the sound of the small Brincias, ones that fit 12 eggs. I'm testing some. Doing their first round so that when I start my hatching program, the hatching rental program, I need to come up with a good name for it. Then I know that they all work and all that. Yeah. So I guess let's go back to the rabbits. The rabbits are Penne and Risotto, and they are going to live in their shared hutch until after Thanksgiving, and then it just makes things easier for the person who's going to be watching everything. And then they are going to, I think they're about 5 months old now, or almost 5 months old. Then they're going to be going into the hutches where Tortellini, their mom, used to live, and where Meatball, their sister, used to live, above the chickens. So they're going to be a part of the Rackin' House and contributing to that system. And at that point, they can still cuddle in between the wire. And they also, they'll do good. But that is when their diet is going to start to be reduced. Because right now they're doing free feed. I was going to really reduce it this past week. And I'm like, it's just easier for someone to deal with, feeding them if we just have them on the automatic thing for now. Yeah. So that's going to be their future, is to be part of the Rackin' House system. And the chickens will have others to clean up after as well. Again, and so that'll be good. And then they will get bred in March and hopefully have babies in April for the first time. All right. Silver Creek's, hatching a home is catchy, Steve, but that is Linda's business. So she has that. That is her business name. So I can't have the same thing. You have to have it called something else. Like Kelly's is Hatching at Home Utah, so she has that, and she has that name. Like these are legal things. So yeah, I need to figure that out. Yeah. Silver Creek says, I'll be getting an African Gray next year. She's about 15. Owner is a dear friend struggling with health issues, so I'm adopting her. Her name is Isabella. Awesome. So if she's already 15, how long do they live? They live pretty long, right? Hey, Sonny's Gardens here. Sonny, sorry. Hi, Sonny's Gardens here. Hello, everyone. Welcome. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the chat. We'll address that. We have been talking about a lot of things today, and the most recent is the rabbits. So I have rabbits that we just named. Everybody voted on them. The vote just came through last night at midnight, and so my rabbits are named based on Italian foods, just because my original rabbits they had those names. Whoever had them named them those names. So our new rabbits, which will be breeders, are going to be, or are, penne and risotto. So that is part of what we're talking about. We've also talked a lot about water and water safety, and it's good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, let us know what you're growing. And Verna says Mooney just attacked me. Why? What happened? Hopefully, is she protective? Is that what's happening? Hopefully that calms down. Yeah. Steve says, quit stealing her babies. Oh boy. And Andy says, are you okay, Verna? Yeah, I want to know too. Verna says, I went to check to see if the kit was out of the box and she attacked me. She didn't hurt me, just charged me like a bull. Oh boy. Guess she doesn't want me to put it back in the nest. I think probably she's just being protective mama. And so rabbits don't actually pick up their babies like cats or dogs. Like they don't pick them up and move them. So if it's out of the box, it's up to you to put it back in because she's not going to do it. Which I think you know that. I'm just saying that for other people who might be listening. Yeah. Yeah. Silver Creek says she knows 50 words already, well trained, but I'll have to reestablish all that at 15 years old and build a mass of trust first. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think if you visit her in her space, like if she already knows you, that would probably help. So Verna, I know Chris was slightly redneck said that he had a doe that once she had babies, she became very protective over them. I'm hoping that Mooney's not like that all the time. Maybe she's just having a bad day. I don't know. And Andy Rabbit saying the same thing. Yes, new moms will do that sometimes. Glad you didn't get hurt. Yeah. Yeah. Gonna have to get you some gloves. Okay, so Silver Creek says this bird will probably outlive me still. Yeah, they grow to be quite old. And I know that sometimes people get birds that are inherited and they're like, I don't know what to do with this bird. And it's already, has lots of years left. Yeah. 60 to 80 years for the African gray. Wow. Yeah. That's old. That's old. Sunny's Garden says, love the names. Good. Thank you. The viewers picked them. So there we go. There we go. Silver Creek says, I'm an 86 model, 37. Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. So she might outlast you, huh? Oh, yes. We also talked about poop. Ed wants to share that we talked about poop. Lots and lots of poop. We talked about carnivore poop and diet. And we talked about bloating in animals and all of that. So, yeah, there we go. Silver Creek says all the poop talks. This was not my goal today. It's okay. Andy Rabbit says, I like the grays. We had one when I was a kid. She would bite like crazy if she heard my dad's voice, even from answering machine pickup. Wow. Wow. Silver Creek says, oh, wow. Luckily, my friend sent me multiple books to read about rehabilitation and training and ownership of African grays. So that's helped. Good. Awesome. Andy Rabbit says, I wanted to get a parrot, but all my kids, they didn't want one when I died, and it would just go wherever, so I didn't get one. Yeah, that's exactly it. I think if you want a parrot, like, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan for sure. Yeah. All right, so some videos that are coming up. Tuesday, tomorrow, is going to be a video about quail density in aviaries. And I know my content has been a lot of garden content recently, and that's just because that's what's been going on. And so with that, it's going to be all about quail and densities and aviaries. And then Sunday's video, unless I change it, I might change it to a different day, but Sunday's video is going to be all about volunteers in the garden. And if you're at the National Heirloom Expo, I'm going to go through the list. You guys remember had that big, what is it called? Big whiteboard, I guess, but it was paper, easel. And people put on their favorite volunteers in the garden. Volunteers meaning plants, although we did have one person put their name. I think it was a kid. Maybe he put his brother's name. I don't know. So that is coming up as well. And so I have some other good things coming, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys a rundown of what to expect coming forward. And yeah, there you go. And you read that. Poop is the new big fad. It's valuable as a nutrient source for plants, as a manure, as a compost. It's valuable knowing how to do things rotational grazing wise for carbon sequestration. Is valuable for it's an inintrusive way to survey for animals. So that's something else. I'm a wildlife biologist by trade, and those are three things that we do now, which is non-invasive surveys. And one would be tracking, and another one would be scat analysis. So scat identification and locations, identifying what they ate. And again, you can't actually get the epithelial cells off of the pinch point of the scat to identify the animal that left it there, like to the animal if it's fresh enough. And then also camera trapping. So I am hoping to film or record a video about camera trapping at my parents', because my dad is I have a lot of experience professionally with this. And I set my dad up to do stuff, and he's caught some fun things on cameras in their yard. So I'm planning on doing that. I know it's not necessarily homesteading related, but it kind of is, because I know a lot of people want to know what's out there in the night, right? We want to set up a camera and see what's bothering our quail or whatever. So yeah. I know. I'm yawning again. Ed, keep me awake. I gotta keep me awake. I think it's because I'm sitting. I don't know. Silver Creek says, good, I need to see that because I have like 100 in my aviary and it is crazy. Silver Creek, how big is your aviary? How many square feet? How many people yawned after I did? Ed wants to know. I'm just spreading the love here, making your brain have more oxygen. You don't even have to take oxygen anymore because you're yawning, and you can just get it right from the air. I don't know. Should I be a guru? Maybe not. Silver Creek says, thinking of culling and selling some. Yep. My yawns are fake? I don't think so, because you can fake a yawn and get a dog to yawn. Okay, those of you with dogs, do that right now. Make your dog yawn. It is hilarious. No, they're real. Also, if you fake a yawn, you end up yawning yourself usually. Silver Creek says, Ed, I'm hyped up on Mountain Dew. No yawns here. Oh boy. You didn't grow that. And Verna has 30 to 40 to cull too. Yeah, I would say like 40 is about the perfect number in a day for us to do, like to just dedicate some time and say, okay, we're doing this. Like any more than that, you're like, for me, any more than that, I'm like, okay, well, that's like, I need to get up and do something else and walk around, and but if you get a rhythm going, you can do it pretty quickly, in a couple hours. Yeah. Buster says, I seen your I don't know what that word is. Are you trying to say vigilante? Because that's what I read. Voluntary? Is that a word? Or is it spell check doing weird things? Peach tree. You saw my peach tree. Yes. In the video today, it's not in the volunteer plants video because I forgot to show it to you guys. I'm pretty sure I forgot. But there is a peach tree. Well, there's many peach trees that are planted, but there is one that planted itself right in the corner of a bed, and it gets regular water, and it is like that thick around now, and probably about maybe 8 or 9 feet tall. And I don't know when you're going to get fruit from it, but I'm when I was doing this last video, now I already have a volunteers in the garden video out from way back when. Like, it was one of the first ones, I think. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And doing it this time, I really kind of looked at myself and goes, what percentage of my garden is volunteers? Because it's a pretty big percentage. I mean, relative to what you would think of volunteers would make up, it's a pretty big percentage, I think. Tell me what you guys think when you see that. Put it in the comments and say, hey, I think it's this many percent or something. It'd be fun. Silver Creek says, I may sell some to our local feed store. Our town mayor owns it, and I have a pretty good relationship with him. That'd be good. Andy Rabbit says, man, I thought she was really fixing to for humans. I don't know what that means, Andy Rabbit. I'm sorry. Silver Creek says, Verna, that's about what I'm looking at sending to freezer camp. I'm a wildlife junkie and hobbyist by nature. Yep, me too, but I also do it professionally. Oh no, we know we're joking. What did I say? Good reminder, Andy Rabbit. All right, you guys are making each other sleepy. My dog lets me know every time there's something eyeballing our quail. Unfortunately, we are light sleepers, Silver Creek says. There you go. There you go. Sonny, you're laughing at something. I don't know what, but apparently it was funny. That's good. And Verna wants to know, Sonny, what all do you grow? I want to know. You have garden in your name. What do you grow? Where do you grow? Where are you growing? Silver Creek says, LOL, I stopped drinking Mountain Dew almost a decade ago. Water and beer and tea here. Occasionally, I will sip on an energy drink for like 3 or 4 days. Yeah, I was never a Mountain Dew fan. Not good. Verna says, I can't make Lucy yawn. She's outside. Try harder. Oh, boy. Andy Rabbit says, my dog didn't yawn. Oh, but did you? Maybe you got to be more in tune with your dog. Be like, attention, do this. Oh. Yeah, so Verna says, I'm all alone, Katrina. I usually do 10 at a setting. And that is important to know. It's important to know how many you can do at a time and what your limit is, because then you can plan it out for sure. Sunny says, at Verna's place, different veggies. Oh, Vay's place. Oh, she's talking to Verna. Different veggies, and I have 30 quail. Awesome. Awesome. We like that. We like that a lot. 50%. Verna thinks that 50% of my yard is volunteer. It could be. I don't know. Verna says, I have quail, rabbits, and gardening in my apartment. Yep. And I have quail and rabbits and chickens and over 40 fruit trees and a pond and gardening on my 7,000 square foot city lot. You can do a lot no matter where you are. And Silver Creek says, I live on a small funny farm, lots of stuff. There was a place called The Funny Farm near where I grew up, and they had fainting goats, and they were hilarious. And I'm sure we harassed the heck out of them and probably shouldn't have, but every time they were hilarious. Poor things. Sunny says, yes, I have 3 cats, 2 dogs, 30 quail. I'm in Philadelphia, so nothing is growing now but kale and collards. That is not nothing. That is something. Yeah, that is awesome. Welcome to the group. And kale and collards will take you a long way. And you can, if you can grow those, you can grow a whole lot of other things. You know, you can grow radishes and cabbage, any of the brassicas. Yeah, you can grow a lot of things. Andy Rabbit says, I was talking about when you said poop of good nutrition. No, I thought you were going to say for humans. No. It brings good nutrition into the garden. You know me better than that. And she says, yes, Katrina, I did yawn. Oh boy. Hey, Sunny's Garden says, I want to start raising rabbits soon. Rabbits are awesome. I have a whole playlist on rabbits. I have cooking videos for rabbits. Stick around. We'll do more stuff with rabbits. And rabbits are it's a very good thing to have, even if you aren't eating the meat, because the poop is so valuable. It has, it's a cold manure. We are talking about poop. Again, we have not covered all the poop questions, guys. So they have what's called cold manure, which means you can use it directly on your plants. And it won't burn the plants like a quail manure would. So you can use that. And then if you are raising them for meat, they do really, really well. They raise their own young. You know, you don't have much input. You do have to make sure that they don't go out of the nest box and that you have some things to check on. But in general, they raise themselves with mom. And if you have a good mom, then that's really, really good. And then if you are, if you're going to be eating them, then they are a white meat. And I actually also rendered the rabbit fat. I don't know what that's called because I know there's names for, you know, pig is lard and cattle is tallow and chicken is schmaltz, something. And I haven't been able to find the name for rabbit, but I did do that. So I've done a lot of rabbit stuff. So watch some of those videos and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And Verna says, Sunny, that is great. I started rabbits this fall. Just had my first kindling yesterday. And she's so excited. It is so exciting every time, not just the first time. And Verna says, Sunny, my rabbits are Havanas. I got them from Andy Rabbit. Yep. And mine are, the dad is Californian. And all of my ladies are all true sisters, but also from 2 separate litters. And so the white ones that you'll see have the same mom and dad as the black ones. They just are from separate litters and they just happen to be both white and both black. And they are crossed between Californian and Black New Zealand. So, and there's many other people on here that have rabbits. So you have rabbit questions, ask away. Definitely check out the videos. Andy Rabbit says, I was laughing so hard when I typed that the first time. I messed it up so bad. Oh, boy. Verna says, Sunny, where there's a will, there's always a way. Absolutely. Silver Creek says, 2 cats, 4 dogs, 100 chickens, 100-ish quail, 13 dove, 20 pigeon, 4 geese, 1 sheep, 1 parrot, 300 tropical fish, 30 wild-caught native fish. Big numbers all in ish. Is that really what it is? Fat is for rabbit fat? PHAT. I'm looking that up right now. PHAT. Let's see what it says. It means excellent. It's all a fat and funky sound. I don't think that's the only. The only. Where's the multiple definition and meaning? Don't they have multiple? Meanings? Show more. Okay, I'm going to have to actually use a dictionary because the dictionary online is useless and only has one thing. I will look that up separately. And if that's the case, I did not scour the internet nearly as much. Steve says, she said rabbit fat is excellent. Oh, he said, I don't know, but it just sounds good. That's what I call it. Oh, boy. If I looked up PHAT and it means excellent. So it's pretty funny. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, it has a pretty low smoke point. So like you wouldn't I still have a bunch of it. I keep forgetting I have it. I think I want to make biscuits out of it because I think it would be good as a biscuit, and not as like on a frying pan because it does have a high smoke point. And this year I did keep there's okay in pigs, and I don't know how this converts to other animals. Not converts. What's the right word? I don't know how this concept transfers to other animals or not, but it has in a pig the inner part by the kidneys down here. That fat is called leaf lard, and leaf lard doesn't smell piggy. It doesn't taste piggy. It is used for pastries. It's a different consistency and it has different flavor. It's more of a lack of flavor than the flavor of pork lard, which is from the fat from the rest of the body. From the rabbit, last year I saved the fat all year and then rendered the lard and just did that. This year I saved them separately, and I did notice that they do have a different feel, they have a different density, they have a different texture, and so I am wondering if they have different flavors and all of that. So I will be testing that at some point whenever I get to it. But I have been saving it separately and it's in the freezer. So that is something else that I'll be testing at some point. And Verna has live tomorrow. I probably won't be there because I'm going to be at my parents'. I'm going to be at my parents', starting tomorrow. But that is good you're doing it. Andy Rabbit says it looks better on a bag in the freezer than rabbit fat to me. Oh, so that's just what you write. Okay. I thought you were telling me that's the name of it. Yeah. Silver Creek says, I also have honeybees that don't leave me alone, so much so that I'm considering keeping them, especially having a garden. What do you mean you're considering keeping them? You have a home and you were going to demolish it, or they're just hanging around? Yeah. I would love to have honeybees at some point, but I'm too close to school right now. That is a rule that they have here. So how many of them? Since you named you numbered everything else, right? Somebody says they seriously fly right into my face and come say hello to me almost every day. So they do actually have like facial recognition, right? So this is something that they have, that hummingbirds have, to identify the different flowers that they've already visited, so that they don't visit it again and waste time and energy doing that. Like, oh, I've been there. Oh, I've been there. Oh, this is new. I'm going to go there. And yeah, bees are great. Bees are great. I backpacked in Joshua Tree National, I think it's a monument now, National Park, National Monument, whatever it is now. And when you're out there, there's no water. You pack in all your water, which is very heavy. But you pack in all your water, and if there's water, the bees will find it. Like, animals will find it. And so they warn you when you open your water, basically look around, see what's there. I was at a point in a hike, I had my base camp, and then I was going on day hikes from there. And I was at a point where, you get sweaty, you take off your boots, you let them air out just for, general foot health, right? And so I was letting my feet air out and and sweat evaporate, and a bee came and landed on me, and like it landed on my leg and on the on the lower part of my leg where the sock is, and I could feel its tongue. Its tongue was going into the sock, and I think it was getting moisture, maybe salt too, but I think it was there to get moisture, and it tickled. But it was really kind of neat to just have this bee come up to me and say, "Hey, can I have a drink? I'm thirsty out here." That was pretty cool. Yeah. Verna says fat from pigs, bear, and a rabbit is soft fat, and when it's rendered is called lard. From rabbit too, because I couldn't find that as a thing, as a I couldn't verify that anywhere. Interesting. Andy says that is the name of it in my house. You can name things whatever you want in your house. Silver Creek says they just hang around, so I want to give them a home. When I put out food for them, we get over 100 at a time show up. Awesome. So Silver Creek, I think the one that you showed us on your short, was that a honeybee? Because you'll have honeybees and you'll have native bees, and if you make like a native bee house, then still have like the native soil too, then you'll have tons of different native bees, and native bees actually pollinate a whole lot better than if you have them around. They pollinate a whole lot better than honeybees, but you don't get honey. So that's the only thing. We have some that are really funny, and in the summertime, on my front gate, right, that we walk through to get in and out of the house, it opens, male person opens it, or everybody opens it. In there's actually, I put on the latch opposite. It was wrong. I undid it. Okay. I fixed it. But as a result, I have these little tiny screw holes, 4 of them in a wrong place. And they get inhabited by these little tiny bees. And so the bees just sit in there with their little butts sticking out, and it's their home. And you open the gate and close the gate, and they're just sitting there. They're still there. And they'll fly out and fly back in, and it's like, you don't care that your house is moving and like slamming into the closing thing. Okay, you can live there. So there you go. About fat, I really wish on StreamYard I could copy this. I wonder if I can copy it up here. How do I do that? Okay, let me go onto YouTube. All right, let me get that link. Open link in new tab. Okay, it must have that must not have been available, because that's a pretty simple search, isn't it? Okay. That sound again was the incubators going. All right, freeze dry your water. Andy Rabbit, no. Drink my water, yes. Silver Creek says, yep, about 15-20 minutes. That was on your face? Yeah. If it's dry, every animal can almost can smell your water. Yep. Oh. Rabbit's laughing. It would be lighter to carry. That is right, Steve. It would be. It would. I don't know if it'd be healthier for you. I mean, it might be worse for you, right? Because you have all the solids left behind, more concentrated. is you got to freeze dry it. And then actually, I'm not saying to do this at all. If you freeze dry water and what comes out goes into a bucket, is it purified? I don't know the answer. It's not something I really need to research. But is that a purification method? I don't know. But we all know from listening to Ed that the freeze dryer water is nasty. Don't do it. All right. Well, I hope you guys are all going to be doing something fun for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be going up to my parents, and that was your first time hearing the Turner? They've been going. They go every 45 minutes, and there's multiple ones over there. It's pretty loud. The Turner's pretty loud because it goes every 45 minutes. Well, you can set it to go different times, but I read the instructions, and so that's what I have it set for. And we'll see. Hopefully they're good. Just run it through a coffee filter. Andy. Anyway, I hope you guys are going to have a good Thanksgiving. And again, I am going to leave that video up that I did for the Katrina's Kits live chat, Cook With Me. It's under the live. You go on the homepage, go to live. It's there. I'm going to leave that up through Thanksgiving. It was my mistake. Other people watched it, and I figure you guys are my biggest supporters. You're on here watching the lives or watching the live replays. So I will give you guys that freebie. And we have fun on there. Like it's a fun thing to do. And part of my struggle with some of the cooking videos is that, you know, there's sometimes processes that you want to learn about or you want to teach about, or there's things that are more tricky, or sometimes there's not. And then it's just having more time to do that conversation part of it or to show everything is good. Sometimes it might be a little boring, which is kind of why I did, you know, we can talk too, but kind of why I did the turkeys and did one napkin folding. We did one fancy napkin folding because I forgot to review the other ones that I knew. There you go. So anyway, hope you guys are good with Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have safe travels. And I think we're going to sign out here. Let me see what people say. Verna says, nope, it smells like water when you defrost your freezer. Cooking a turkey tomorrow. Good. Verna, good luck with that. Wobble till you gobble, Andy says. Summer King says, good night all. Discovery Channel bird documentaries are calling me to beautiful slumber. Awesome. Sunny's Garden, have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Signing out. Thank you for coming. Have a good Thanksgiving. And night all. Yawn out. Ed says, catch you later, Buster says. Verna says, revenge of the turkey. You start off stuffing the turkey, it ends up stuffing you. All right, on that note, we will say good night. Happy Thanksgiving. Everyone drive safe, fly safe, travel safe, get back to us, and have a good time. We will see you around. We will have a live chat next Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, same channel. All right, have a good one. Good night.